I worked on 3 different projects over the last month. The first one is a Crew AI agent framework. The second one is a game that has a large language model within it. And the third one is based on a show that I really like called Legends of the Galactic Heroes. I started off this first project because of my son. He has been asking me for games continually. He is 6 years old, and I don't let him use the Android Play Store too often. And when he does, he has games that have lots of adverts in it because I'm not going to go off and buy those games. And a lot of those games we can now make using, say, Claude 3.7 Sonnet or another large language model. And when he likes a game, he wants to go back to it. Now, what I'm demoing here in the video is the agents at work creating the game, and then they're uploading it to my web server. Then on my phone, I create a hyperlink to that place, so he can just push a button like he normally does, and he has an app. I built a few of them by myself, but I thought, hey, having an agent would be very handy. And it would be. I have to tidy up my code. The agents aren't fully working. None of these 3 projects are fully working, and they need a bit of work, but I keep on thinking of new ideas and just thought I would share them. So as you can see in this video, the balls are currently dropping, and I guess I have to show that in a video because why wouldn't I? Here's a look out the window. And so the game or the agents can be accessed from my phone connecting to my PC, and the idea was that you could use GWYN or Deepseek or whatever other models you have at home. I have an Apple computer, so I can run that on a 64 gigabyte machine and technically build these apps for free. There's a lot of debugging, but that will be rectified with better agents. Maybe I should spend more time on that. Having a game where you can actually talk to the computer and it being live and know what you're doing, I find that fascinating. I don't think that has been applied enough currently in many games that I've played. Of course, you have the standard reactions from bots in games. This is a game that I built basically just around the idea of communicating with an AI. So you effectively go through hyperspace, and as you go through hyperspace, you end up in different locations, and you may or may not get damage to your ship. Again, this game is a work in progress. In this case, I got a sensor damage, and apparently I can't repair that because it's not a major issue for me. So yeah, so I built the images in the background or the videos in the background using Cosmos. I shouldn't have really used that, I think. I don't think it was well designed for it, but this is before LTX 9.5 came out, when you ran the latest version, and I find Sora to be quite poor overall. So as I continue, you can see that I have lots of different visualizations in the game, but you can also communicate with the AI itself. Now, I've downloaded the 1.5 parameter model from Deepseek or 1, and in the actual game itself, I have to have a menu button. I think I've forgotten to add it in here, but you can just start it up again. If you go into settings, you can choose between the different model sizes that you want, and then you can say download. So here's the 8 billion parameter model, and it's going to start downloading it just like that. And it'll take a little while, but I built Ollama into the game so that you could, anybody could get it up and running straight away. So it just ends up on your system afterwards, which is good or bad, I don't know, but it was the direction that I decided to take. So I don't know, maybe this project is something that I should continue doing. I have to add in sounds overall, but I enjoyed this, making this or learning how to do it. I turned it into a package using nw.js because it's not a very graphically intense game. It was easy to set up. There was a lot of pain initially because I was trying to use llama.cpp, but yeah, I'll just let this continue downloading. but this is called The Star Beyond, is what I'm calling it. I love Napoleonic era war tactics. Napoleon's battles are always fascinating to me. And there's a show called Legends of the Galactic Heroes, which is apparently a very big hit in Japan. Somebody mentioned it to me one day and I was like, okay, I gotta make that. And I started off making this here. I think, sorry, I just have to remember my controls. So shift is to, right click is to drag and move around. Left click is to do the orbiting. It's in Three.js with a Python backend. Doing a control allows you to select, and you can get your ships into different forms or formations. The idea is that the enemy you are going to fight will also be getting into their own formations, and there'll be a cool battle. So maybe I'll just play this a little bit and show you what I've got. See if you're interested. So you can get into different depths. So 6 lines, for example. They're going to go do that now. Or I can separate out the, you can see they got into 6 different lines. You can separate out the ships into a greater spacing and decrease it down to say 3. And there you go, they'll get into that. Now, if you right click and just control it, they'll stick in the formation that you sent them, which is important for battle formations. And then we can engage in a fight. This is probably my 10th iteration of this particular game. I had many issues with the angle of the firing of the projectiles and how the AI was responding. Now, in this case, it's a kind of a test environment, so I set it up so that they don't react until I get close enough, and then they'll start reacting with different kind of AI responses. Some will sit back, some will be aggressive, some will try and flank you, and you'll have your battle. So let's have a look. I think I will set the spacing a bit more there and spread out. Yeah, the enemy will try and dodge, but I have also got the cube formation, and because this is 3D space, I also have the ability to move my fleet down and then rotate at a 45-degree angle so that they can shoot from underneath. And I can move them around. Yes, I have them set so that when they move, they go back up to their original plane, because I was getting confused myself with all the different angles that were occurring. But the enemy can also do the same thing, so it ends up being a fair fight. Now I can disrupt my enemy by running in. This to me is just really fun, and I want to get it to have 100,000 units on either side. So of course I can't build it in this framework. I have to change that around to probably be in a different programming language. But this is where I was figuring out how the physics of the game should be working in my mind. If you think I should go along and build this a bit more, I would actually enjoy doing that. But I do have those other projects that I have running at the same time. And everything needs sound. I haven't added sound into anything at the moment. But then again, we are in space, so maybe sound isn't necessary.